Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy, the Strongest Wizard, and tonight is indeed Fight Night. We have ourselves yet another OP10 matchup here, second one on the channel. We have Usopp versus Captain Kid there, and this is two popular decks that I think are gonna see a lot of play during this new format. And I was able to show the two leaders in the very beginning, and for all the new characters that pop up, I'm going to show them as well. Try to include as much info as possible. I'm also playing this video in 100% like just like normal real time. I don't want to fast forward anything, just so that you guys are able have the opportunity to either read or pause and read some of these cards. But that Leo's pretty good. It's on play. If your leader is Usopp, you get to look at the top 5 cards. You get 2 Dressrosa cards from the top 5, and then you get a trash 1 card from your hand. So really solid, especially for being a 1 cost. The only issue is you have to rest your leader or stage, which is honestly not that bad once you get Coliseum out. But this is a 7k swing going into life here, and it looks like we might have a trigger on Endeavor's side, and no trigger there. And then for 1 down, we're gonna see that stage, which is really nice. If you guys forgot what that does, it's your Dressrosa type characters are able to attack into characters the turn they're played, so they have like baby rush. But we are going to see the counter out of the 5k swing, and then of course we have the Basil Hawkins. Now this card is freaking insane, man. We're gonna use leader effect. We're gonna flip the top card of our life there as up, and then we get to have a supernova type as a blocker there. This is insanely good. It's a 4/5 with 1k counter, and then on KO your opponent has to trash your life, period. Like what? This is crazy. And then the trigger is a draw 2 trash 1. Yeah, honestly, so excited for OP10. I think there's a lot of possibilities that we can have here. But yeah, this is a 6k swing. We're gonna go ahead and block. Making Trippy trash your life is crazy work. And then tapping 4 for that Cavendish. Now Cavendish is a pretty insane card as well. It's 1 attacking once per turn, draw 2 trash 1. Now the only issue is it has no counter. It's a 4/6, great stat line. Only unfortunate part is that there's so much removal and bouncing in the meta right now. Cards like Rob Lucci, as well as like 4-cost Law, to just extremely punish that card, or 4-cost characters, right? So really unfortunate there, but if it sticks, it sticks, man. So 5k swing going into life. We see the 2k counter, and then we are going to go ahead and tap 6 for the Cavendish. It's a 6-cost 8k vanilla. Pretty funny how they both have Cavendishes on the board. Main reason why is because they're both supernovas, and they're also both Dressrosa types, so same arc. Pretty cool. But anyways, getting back to this match here, we're going to go ahead and tap 2 for that 1-legged toy soldier. We're going to give -3 cost to that 6-cost character. Using the token is very much so appreciated, is what they're doing. Yep, -3 cost there, just so you guys are able to understand that, in case you have the sound off or whatever the case is. 6k swing, not even any Dawn required to a swing and use that effect. So drawing 2, trashing 1, and we are going to go ahead and take it, and we're going to actually stun the main leader. Hey, I get it. And now we have the 4-cost Zoro coming down. Now 4-cost Zoro is really good. You get to rest a Dressrosa type character or stage, and then KO a 4-cost or lower character on the board, and then you mill 2. So not only are you helping mill the cards out of the top of your deck, so you have a very full trash, at the same time you're also able to just like hard punish your opponent for having 4 costs. So it's such a good card. And now this 8-cost Kid comes down on play. You get to rest this character, trash your opponent's life, and then at the end of your turn, if your opponent has 2 or less life, you get to draw 1, trash 1. Using a leader effect to restand it, and then flipping the top life. An insanely good card, as well as a really good combo too. So pretty nice there. And we have 2 life versus Endeavor's 3, and this is a 7k swing. We're gonna draw 2 and trash 1 once again, since we haven't been able to get rid of that character off the board. Trashing the stage, already have 1, don't need another. And this is a 9k blocker, of course, thanks to that kid leader. Thanks to that kid leader. And with what, 6 Dawn, what are we gonna do here? I mean, I think we're at 9 Dawn, right? But luckily he was holding 6 there. But we could see a Leo coming down. Only unfortunate part is if we play Leo, we have to rest our leader. can attack, but where the Rebecca comes out into play. So this is a pretty good card. 1k counter, 4k power, 7 cost. If there's an 8 cost character on the board, you get to draw 1 card. Then you play out a 7 cost and then a 4 cost, and you get to actually you just play them out. Period. It's like a mini gecko. And then the Kyros actually gets to bounce a 5 cost or lower. So and then it looks like we saw that 5k swing, and now this is a 6k swing going into life, and then the 9k swing going into 9 thanks to that Coliseum is quite good there. So Rebecca is okay. I think that card is really overrated, honestly. I don't think people are saying it's insane, but in my opinion, I think it's a little overrated. It's really good, but you have to have the cards in your hand. It's not like Gecko Moore where you have to have them from trash. Nonetheless, still a good card. So 10k swing over that character using Usopp effect. We drew a successful card. 9k swing over the other Cavendish, and now this is a 5k swing going into life. Getting rid of both Cavendishes is very strong here, and thanks to that ace, we were able to recover 1 as well. And with only 3 cards in hand, it looks like Trippy's got to make it a pretty big decision here. Giving him the counter, dropping out to 2, prioritizing the Searcher in his hand, using Leader effect. We're going to restand that kid and then draw 1 trash 1, and we get to draw 1 trash 1 every single turn as long as Trippy is at 2 or less life. So pretty insane work here. Yeah, that card is really good. That card is really good, especially in this deck, right? Like, I think in other decks it's like okay. I mean, you get to trash a life, you get to trash your opponent's life, and then you get to draw 1 trash 1 for the rest of the game, as long as it stays on the board, right? But an 8-9 is pretty insane. If you think of a character like Katakuri is an 8-8, obviously Gecko Moore is an 8-9 as well. So we do see the Leo coming down. We're gonna rest our stage. Look at the top 5. Grab yet again another 2 Dressrosa type cards and then add it to hand and then trashing 1. So we get the King Kong gun there. King Kong gun is pretty insane. I think it's like a plus 6k, and if you have 15 cards or more in your trash, it gains double attack. So looks like we did pitch that Rebecca. Too many Rebeccas. I'm curious, if that was a Gecko Moria and this was like a Lucci deck, would we also be pitching the Gecko Moria? Probably not, right? Probably not. So this is a 7k swing going to life. Of course, we have a 9k blocker on the board in the form of that 8 cost kid there. So we're going to go to give him a 2k, 1k for that transaction. One of them being the Basil, the X-Drake, another new card in the set. But yeah, this is a 6k swing. Yeah, it's a 4-6, I believe. I forgot that Zoro was a 4-6. So it looks like we might end up taking this life here, and I'd be a little worried. I would be a little worried if I took it, but yet again, we are going to go ahead and take it. I completely forgot the kid's a blocker. Too many surprises, man. And you know what's crazy? There's very little ways to interact with this ACOS blocker, right? I mean, there's like, obviously you have cards like Red Rock and things like that, but it sticks there. It sticks. So wow, this is a massive swing into life, which I'm quite surprised we didn't do this beforehand. We could have done this when he was at 2 life, but I guess going for the ace instead. I see. Okay, so not going for life, going for the ace. Yeah, fair point. I guess they wanted to relieve a lot of that pressure, and with the King Kong gun, you definitely get there. So with 2 Dawn up, I'm kind of curious. We see a Shockwave here. Blue has a ton of really good event counters as well, so could see something like that. But yet the Luffy comes down. This is a 1-cost Luffy. Searches top 5 for a supernova card, and then you get to add to hand. So grabbing that Basil Hawkins and yeah, so pretty good there. And then it looks like we are tapping, was that 7 for that 7-cost 9k Law. You get to reveal a supernova type character card from your hand, and then you add to the very top of your life face down. This card is really good, especially adding a Dawn to your leader or a character. It's quite fantastic. So this is a 6k swing going into life there, and we're gonna go ahead and give him the counter there. Now this is a 9k swing going into the Zoro, which we do end up letting go. Usopp effect, we get to draw ourselves a card, and with 2 active Dawn, we're going to go ahead and play out this Shirahoshi, and using leader effect, we're going to restand our kid character there, give it a blocker, and then draw ourselves a card as well as trashing one. And if we look at Endeavor's hand, he has exactly 6 cards, trashing the 1 makes it 5, and we get to pass the turn. A very strong turn here coming from Endeavor. We got to get rid of a 6k body off the board, on top of the fact that we got to heal a card, on top of the fact that we got to establish another blocker. So 2 blockers on the board, 5 cards in hand, and we got to apply a little bit of pressure. I really do like that. And honestly, I think I'm a bit of a big fan of Kid so far. I think the deck actually has a lot of potential. But let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think about Kid? What do you guys think about Usopp? Is there potential? Is it cope? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But the 5k swing, we saw the counter for the Gadatsu, and looks like we are going to go ahead and tap 3 for another King Kong gun. So this should be, I believe, a 10k swing going into life, and a double attack as well. So we could just block and then counter out of it, or we could just take it. But I think you have to remember that this is double attack. So really curious if we still take it or not. Yeah, very, very interesting. So we're gonna draw 2 and then trash 1. And is it, yeah, wow, double attack. Yeah, so we're literally doing the double attack. I'm not sure if Endeavor knew that or what the case may be, or saying, you know what, it doesn't even matter because you don't have enough attackers anyways. I still have 2 blockers. This is a 9k swing. We can counter out of this as well, so we could even block and counter. I'm just a little nervous, right? Like if I'm, yeah, blocking counter is crazy, but like I said, I get it. We have what, 2 chump attackers left, and that's like literally nothing, right? So we are gonna go ahead and just double drop blockers is what it looks like. We have that new Frankie as well, so, and of course we know the 3 cost boy, the Bartolomeo. So yeah, we have 2 blockers up. We have 0 cards in hand. So a clean 9k swing with that Law going into the Kyros would definitely connect. I don't think we need to go for life here, especially if the fact that we have another way to recover. We might not even need it, right? So 5k swing going into the Rebecca. Why is a Rebecca a 4k body? It's like the most balanced Gecko Moria. And thanks to the draw there, we get to actually have a card in our hand. We could counter out of this as well if it's a counter, which would be kind of rough. I feel like we should have gone for the Kyros first instead. But because if this is just a counter, we just counter out of it, right? I mean, I don't think we can go for game regardless. We have 2 blockers up, so if this is a counter, I definitely think we do it. I mean, unless we just need it for next turn. Yeah, okay. So giving him a 2k counter, and now this is another 9k swing going into life. We can block this, and I guess if this is a 10 cost ace, we just block that attack as well. Now, obviously, I think we have to heal. Yep, 10 cost ace. 10 cost ace going into the Kyros. Yep, Kyros goes down. We're going to block. And then we're going to go ahead and play out the Leo off of that effect since it is KO'd. Leo effect, we're going to draw through. We're going to look at the top 5, reveal 2 Dressrosa, and then add them both to hand. And obviously, this deck has so many. And we have a couple of top end characters like the Kyros, the 7 cost, but unfortunately, we just need to grab a counter as well as a blocker. So. And even more of the unfortunate part, we get to unrest one of our blockers, reveal the top card. We get to unrest, Kid, making it a blocker. So once again, we are back to back 2 blockers in a very similar situation. And if I'm Endeavor, I want to have as much counter as I possibly can. So the drawing 1 and trashing 1 does help out a lot. It helps you out filter a lot of those dead yellow cards that obviously yellow has always had an issue with. Cards like 10 cost aces and the 7 cost Law as well. So yeah, a lot of really good choices here, honestly. as this match goes on, I'm starting to become a bigger believer of Kid and a less of a believer of Usopp. Yeah, pretty funny. But nonetheless, pretty good match so far. We have obviously our 10 Dawn active, 2 cards in hand, and it's looking a little rough here. There's no way we can go for game. I mean, 9k swing, lead. Okay, so 9k, we go block. Another, like, what, 7k? We could even go block again. And let's say we split 8 Dawn onto 2-2Ks. Like, there's just no way. Only thing that's really benefiting Trippy here is that we're still at 2 life. So if he does try to not necessarily play it slow, but find a way out, he does have a little bit of wiggle room here. So Trippy really making sure he makes the right decision. Obviously, this is not a tournament or anything like that. This is just we're just play testing here. So this is a 12k swing going into, it looks like Law, and we see the easy block. Yeah, easy. And now this is a 9k swing going into life is what it looks like. We could just block and give him a 1k counter, and yes, we're gonna go ahead and do so. And now with 3 Dawn up, we're just gonna play the Bart there and pass. So of course that's a 3 cost blocker, same one that we saw earlier, just that was the alternate art. This is just like the full art version from PRB, and this is looking tough. So this is going to be a 9k swing going into life. We're going to go ahead and take it, dropping down to 1. Do we have a trigger? Possibly. I'm not too sure what this could be to help you out here. Maybe a red rock, but even then everything's too high cost. So this is actually the King Kong gun. This is a draw 3 trash 2. Not sure exactly why this deck has so many draw 3 trash 2s, but regardless it does. And so now we see the X-Drake. Now this is disgusting. We're gonna rest the X-Drake to rest our blocker, and this is another 9k swing with only 2 cards in hand. And do we have another trigger? That'd be crazy. And we do. It's unfortunately it's the Gravity Blade and a big 10k going into life, and Endeavor does end up taking it. Thank you guys so much for checking out this channel, this video. I really do appreciate it, and stay tuned because I have a ton of new OP10 content coming out soon. See ya.